Network news officials are panicking once more as Barry Weiss continues to clean house at CBS News. The latest snafu has to do with Face the Nation's Margaret Brennan, bumbling away any credibility she might have left to sway. And now, Catherine Herridge is going scorched earth against her former employer, claiming the old CBS News was corrupt to the core.
The reaction from the executives was, well, we can't do it live. And I was like, what do you mean we can't do it live? I was like, well, we don't know what he's going to say. I was like, well, I'm thinking, isn't that the point of journalism? You don't know what the person's going to say?
Hello, folks. Welcome back yet again, and happy Monday morning. Let's get to it. You click the like button. We'll do the rest. Explaining entertainment, that's what we do around here. And yes, CBS News now owned by Paramount Skydance. The Ellisons, one of the richest families in the world, and they're centrists. And they want the news division of CBS brought back to the middle. Ryan Saavedra has this. It says, Marco Rubio schools Margaret Brennan after she demands answers over the why the U.S. did not arrest all of Nicolas Maduro's henchmen. Now, what you need to know about this, folks, is that Face the Nation is a Sunday morning show. Barry Weiss, who has been brought in by the Ellisons to clean house at CBS, she has already done that with the evening news program starting this evening. New anchor, new stuff, and they've already admitted they messed up in the past. Okay, that's great. Mea culpa engaged. But 60 Minutes and Face the Nation still remain. Margaret Brennan is the one who has been so vitriolic in the past, especially towards the current administration. And here she has the chance to prove she's a real journalist, and she's going to ask Marco Rubio hard questions. Fair enough. Have at it, Margaret. But Margie messes up in that clearly when she doesn't have someone to walk her through this, to handhold her through this with a teleprompter, she has no clue what she's doing. Barry Weiss. Maybe it's going to be real nice to let her go. Here is Margaret Brennan.
Still wanted by the United States. Why didn't you arrest them if you are taking out the narco-terrorist regime?
And to give you some explanation of this, she's asking, why didn't you arrest everybody associated with the Maduro administration down in Venezuela? Why is just Maduro and his wife? Why didn't you arrest everybody? Here, let me repeat it again for you, folks. Margaret Brennan, genius that she is. Margaret Brennan, this lady, I tell you, she's got at least 7 PhDs level of intellect in this noggin.
I'm confused. Are they still wanted by the United States? Why didn't you arrest them if you are taking out the narco-terrorist regime?
You're confused? I don't know why that's confusing to you.
They're still in power.
It's very simple. You're not going to go in and wrap up. But you can't go. You're going to go in and suck up 5 people. They're already complaining about this one operation. Imagine the howls we would have from everybody else if we actually had to go and stay there 4 days to capture 4 other people. We got the top priority. The number one person on the list was the guy who claimed to be the president of the country that he was not, and he was arrested along with his wife, who was also indicted. And that was a pretty sophisticated and frankly complicated operation.
It was.
It is not easy to land helicopters in the middle of the largest military base in the country. The guy lived on a military base.
Can you hear him? I mean, he's starting to laugh at her. He's starting to laugh at her. It makes sense. Because the idiocy of her question is too much. These are the important journalists. These are the anchors. These are the investigators who ask the hard questions. Why didn't you get all of them? Why didn't you get every single criminal in Venezuela and bring them here?
Land within 3 minutes, kick down his door, grab him, put him in handcuffs, read him his rights, put him in a helicopter, and leave the country without losing any American or any American assets. That's not an easy mission. And you're asking me, why didn't we do that in 5 other places at the same time? I mean, that's absurd.
Stop it there. Stop it there, because you got to listen. It's just too painful. It's just too... Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, just schools Margaret Brennan because Margaret Brennan has the what should we say? The resolution of thinking of like a 5th grader. Okay, so why didn't you get all the bad guys out of Venezuela? Because it's miraculously hard to do what they did already. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to think about it. You've heard me say this 15 times on this channel in the last 48 hours. Not my job to tell you what to think about what happened in Venezuela. But I am here to tell you Margaret Brennan is clueless. This woman is clueless. And she's running the morning CBS News on Sundays. Hey, Barry Weiss, it'd be very nice if Margaret Brennan was no longer doing that because she's a boob. She has no idea what she's talking about. It's just too silly. It's just too silly. Okay, going to AOL, because this is the scorched earth situation that CBS now faces. Because Margaret Brennan and some of these others at 60 Minutes, they're holdovers, they're hang-ons, right? They're barnacles. They're going to be removed by Barry. That's going to happen. The Ellisons don't want these people there. They've got contracts. They've got to phase them out. Catherine Herridge was phased out by the corrupt former CBS News regime. Why? For daring do her job. And now that Barry Weiss is there, Catherine is letting it rip. She is ripping into the former CBS News. This out of AOL from Daily Caller. Former CBS reporter Catherine Herridge reveals how executives delayed her reporting on the laptop. This by Harold Hutchison. You know the laptop. Former CBS investigative reporter Catherine Herridge said Thursday CBS News executives postponed airing her reports on the contents from Hunter's laptop. Herridge began working as an independent journalist after CBS laid her off in February 2024, before the Ellisons, via paramount, via Skydance, purchased Paramount. So, before, when she was under the thumb of the corrupt ones, she was let go, February of 2024, while she was fighting a legal battle over whether she'd be forced to disclose a source after clashes with CBS executives at the time. In other words, Catherine Herridge was trying to protect a source, and the corrupt CBS execs demanded to be given access to her sources. Oh my, here's what she has to say. She's doing this new thing called Straight to the Point. Independent journalism will dominate 2026. Here's what she has to say. I believe this is for the LA Times. It's on here, LA Times. I don't know what the MG stands for, but here we go, folks. Here's what Catherine Herridge has to say about the Hunter laptop. And remember, she's going after the corruption of CBS News, which, by the way, why is she doing this right now? Why would she do it? Because Catherine Herridge is giving permission to Barry Weiss and clearing the runway for her, setting the narrative that these people are utterly, totally, contemptually corrupt. All right? Contemptibly corrupt, and they're getting out of here. Here's Catherine Herridge.
We eventually broadcast a story about the Hunter Biden laptop after the midterm elections in 2022. We commissioned a forensic review. I got a copy of the laptop data. I have it here still. I went to a lot of effort to get the cleanest copy of the laptop data, the same data that was provided to the FBI, because I didn't want to have any professional journalistic risk for CBS News. I wanted this thing to be totally locked down. When we did the story, we did it after the midterms.
In other words, it's even after it would have any effect. It's after the political fallout that could be.
I argued against that because it was ready before the midterms. And my training is that you should always do the story when it's ready to go. You should not be dictated by the political cycle. Once we got the laptop story on the morning news, I felt that there was so much there that we could still do. For example, in the text messages, there's unfortunately the use of the N-word, the liberal use of the N-word.
No, that can't be. The Biden family using the N-word? No, they wouldn't do that. Barrett Media is talking about this because Catherine Herridge is ready to unleash. Right? That's what you're finding out right now. The powers that were are no longer the powers that be, and she wants to make sure that Barry Weiss, I believe this is what this is all about. She wants Barry Weiss to have the ability to clean house because Catherine Herridge actually is one of the last remaining true believers in real journalism. And she was trying to practice that. And she got squelched. She got kicked out of the club over at the old CBS News. And who are the kids who are still playing over there? The Scott Paley-Peelys of the world, the Margaret Brennans of the world. You get the idea. These people, the Whitakers, they've been there forever, and they're not going to change, and they're going to continue to try to take down Barry Weiss, do everything they can to undermine her efforts to moderate CBS News. They have the backing of every other news network. And why? Because the other news networks don't want the pressure of a moderate news network on network TV, because then it will be obvious. It'll be glaringly obvious when you watch ABC versus CBS and go, wait a minute. This is the same story, but presented in a completely different way. They can't have that. That can't be, because the mainstream middle, the sensible center, the majority of people, the majority of Americans will tune into CBS News every time when given the option. All right, let's go down here and see what she says. Catherine Herridge, CBS News blocked live Elon Musk interview over editorial concerns. Oh my gosh! Ladies and gentlemen, it is barrels unloaded from Catherine Herridge. Day after day, story after story of the corruption. And why? Again, to give Barry the ammo she needs to clean house. Former CBS News correspondent Catherine Herridge has shared that the network torpedoed a potential interview with Elon Musk over concerns about what he might say. Can I tell you something? This was back before Elon was highly public. Do you know the ratings for having Elon Musk on CBS News back then? You know the ratings. This is how you know. CBS News, as it was previously constituted, as it is still constituted, I believe, at ABC and NBC, they have no desire for ratings. It's not part of their calculus. Propaganda. Propaganda is what matters. They were worried that Elon Musk might dare come on and say the truth. During a recent episode of her podcast, Herridge revealed that at the height of the reporting surrounding how the Biden administration pressured social media companies, especially Twitter/X, to suppress certain stories, she had lined up an interview with Elon Musk, who had recently purchased the company. Quote, I had conversations with some of the reporters connected to the Twitter files, and I was in my head thinking that there might be an opportunity to tell that story on CBS News. We had a number of topics under discussion. They didn't go as far as we'd hoped, but at the end of the day, this opportunity to interview Elon Musk was developing. What happened? Here's, again, Catherine Herridge going after the former head honchos of CBS News, who, by the way, many are still there, and the ones that have left have largely gone to the other networks.
I had conversations with some of the reporters connected to the Twitter files, and I was in my head thinking that there might be an opportunity to tell that story on CBS News. We had a number of topics under discussion. They didn't go as far as we had hoped. But at the end of the day, this opportunity to interview Elon Musk was developing. So I went to the CBS executives and I said, this is the opportunity that we have. He's saying, I want to do it live and on my platform. He's one of the most influential human beings on the planet. And the reaction from the executives was, well, we can't do it live. And I was like, what do you mean we can't do it live? It's like, well, we don't know what he's going to say. I was like, well, I'm thinking, isn't that the point of journalism? You don't know what the person's going to say?
You got to love it. You got to love it. So Catherine Herridge is out here just absolutely lambasting the former leaders of CBS News. Meanwhile, folks, to bring it full circle, meanwhile, we got Margaret Brennan, who is there, who's part of the leadership there, now working underneath Barry Weiss. And my, oh my, look what happens when you do it live. See what we did, folks? We brought it full circle. When you do it live, the fear for the old guard is not that whoever you're interviewing will say something that you don't like, maybe. It's that your reporters, your journalists, your investigators might be exposed as morons, a.k.a. Margaret Brennan. Now, they weren't worried that Catherine was going to be made to look foolishly. That's not going to happen. She's not. These other people at CBS News, they have no idea what to do because they read the teleprompter. They are anchorman incarnate. And folks, can I tell you something else about what's going on here? This is why it's within our purview. This is why we cover it and why it matters so. Okay? The reason is because what's going on right now with Paramount Skydance, again, owned by the Ellisons, who run CBS News now. What company are they trying to buy? And they're being stymied and blocked in every possible way. They're trying to buy Warner Brothers. What does Warner Brothers own? CNN. What are they trying to stop from happening? Hollywood and the Hollywood companies, the corporations, are desperately trying to stop Skydance Paramount from purchasing Warner Brothers and getting hold of CNN, because then Barry Weiss would be in charge of CBS News and CNN too. And what would that mean? That would be a tremendous shakeup, because you'd have Fox on the right, MS Now on the left, and CNN in the middle. And on network TV, CBS in the middle versus ABC and NBC at ridiculous levels of left. And they can't have that, because that would be a complete and total breakdown of the old guard guard-keeping system that they put in place decades ago. And they can't let that happen, lest they have more scenarios like what you saw with Margaret Brennan. Humiliated. Live by Marco Rubio. Folks, that is the Monday morning video. Happy that you came our way. Thank you so much. It's a joy as ever, every time we endeavor into understanding what's going on. Now you know why it just cannot be allowed. They cannot permit Paramount Skydance from getting a hold of Warner Brothers. Because of this. Connecting the dots, one video at a time. Folks, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts. And until the next time we have the honor, the privilege, and the pleasure of spending time together, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
So, I see you've stooped to a new low.
A new low? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on a new high. I'm flying on sunbeam light. You might say I have sparkles and protons in my eyes.
Right. Well, everyone's gonna see straight through this. Packing Protons gives the Pro Channel a ton of money to watch terrible movies, and, well, you want in on it.
Yeah, and your point?
It's obviously a grift. It's blatant. It's cardboard and Sharpie. It's over the top.
It's so me.
Yeah, it's very much you.
And do you know the best part?
No.
I actually love bad movies. They're all I watch. I could sit lifelessly with joy watching these things, and packing will pay me money to do what I already enjoy into the wee little mornings of every day. Ah, sweet birdemic and garbage pail kids back to back. I know one little troll who's not gonna sleep tonight.